Hello, we're going to do a vid today on the absolute basics of strumming. So if you've just got a ukulele, whether you bought it or someone's given you it as a gift, this is kind of going to introduce you to strumming because it is a thing that a lot of people struggle with. It just takes a little bit of practice, but there's a few little tips and tricks you can get that are going to help you strum a little bit easier and just make it a little bit quicker for you to learn. So, first thing I'd recommend doing is if you've just got a uke and you're not used to it at all, sit down when you're playing to start with. It's a lot harder to play while you're standing up, and just try and rest it on. If you're right-handed, like I am, just try and rest the body on your right thigh, close to your body so it's almost touching. If you're left-handed, which I can't play the uke this way, just reverse that and play vice versa. So I'm going to move to a close-up for strumming. So you can get a better idea of what's going on. Okay, so we're a little bit closer up now, so hopefully you can kind of see what I'm going to do in a little bit more detail. For this exercise we're going to work with a C chord. If you don't know what a C chord is, take your third finger on your fretting hand and place it on the third fret of the string that is closest to the floor, the A string that is. If we strum down with our thumb, it should sound quite nice if your uke's in tune. Okay, you can strum with your thumb. You do see people doing it. You'll probably see me doing it on some videos from time to time. It can be fine, but it really depends on the song. It's not that versatile, the thumb. Your index finger is a little bit more versatile and will let you do more with it. So we're going to work with our index finger today. So, with that in mind, instead of strumming almost from the elbow and having our arm parallel to the neck of the uke, and doing all the motion from the actual elbow and not from the wrist, that just doesn't work. Your fingers get caught up. It's hard to get a kind of clear tone. You might find that one string pops a little bit more than others don't sound. Your fingers will get caught, and it just doesn't work so well. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to get our arm in position like this, and then we're just going to relax our hand a little bit. Just let it fall naturally. Don't try and make it too far down and feel awkward. Just a natural feel. Just let your hand relax. Okay, and that's going to give us a little bit more of a downward stance, really. And then what we do is we try and just flick our finger down. You're just flicking your index finger down so the nail is catching each of the strings. And there's a little bit of movement from the wrist as well, just to kind of help your finger move down as far as it needs to. But if I just strum down very slowly to start with, that's fine for now. We can take it really slow. Okay, and as you start to get more comfortable with that, we can speed it up and try and get one fluid hit. Okay, and they're sounding really clear now. It's going to be a little bit alien to you at first, but just keep practicing those down ones. We're not going to worry about the up strums just yet. So as you see my hand here, I'm not actually strumming, but I'm doing the motion. The wrist is moving and the finger is flicking down. It's almost just like you're flicking through the strings. Slightly diagonal, but definitely not across like that. So slightly almost diagonal motion down. And when you are strumming, like what I just did then, do try and keep almost like a fairly consistent pace to your strumming. So don't do like this, let's not go like this. What we want to do is just keep them nice, almost like a clock, just ticking away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and do it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep practicing that. That will get there. That hand motion and position, really important, and it should make a big difference to your playing. So once we've got those down, we're going to need to start worrying about up strums. And all we're doing on the up strums, and these can be a little bit tricky to start with, is we're just bringing that finger back up. Okay, so I'll play some now so you can get the idea. So I'm playing my down strum like I've just showed you, and I'm just flicking back up. Okay, and one thing with up strums, don't worry about them. That's the worst thing you can do. You don't have to catch all the strings. They're not going to sound as loud. They're not going to sound the same. It doesn't really matter. As long as it doesn't sound horrible. You'll notice when I'm playing mine, it sounds a lot quieter, probably not getting all the strings every single time, but that's fine. Up strums, they've got to sound different, otherwise there's really no point in playing them. So to start with, we're just going to play down, up, down, up, down, up. We're going to try and keep that going. Try and do that with me now. It's going to take some practice, certainly the up strums. You'll find that you kind of start catching bits and it gets a bit flicky. Keep the motion of the wrist and the finger at the same time, and hopefully you'll find that your fingers don't really get caught up. I'd spend at least 5 minutes a day if you're really new to strumming just practicing that. Just stick with one chord. We're not going to worry about our fretting hand at all. Just put any old chord on. If you know anyone in particular, go for it. It doesn't matter which one you use. Sometimes you can just cover the frets, so there's actually no chord. Just while you get the motion down. One thing I'd recommend if you do that, it probably is worth putting a chord on sometimes to practice, just because when you're not actually fretting any of the strings, all the chords are roughly, well, pretty much exactly the same height, whereas if I'm pressing one string down, it's going to be slightly lower down and your strumming is going to be a little bit different. So maybe to begin with, no chord, so I'm just laying my fingers loosely on the top of the strings, enough to touch them but not enough to squeeze them down. Keeping it like clockwork. When that feels comfortable, try a chord. And just keep practicing. Try and keep it like clockwork. Do a little bit every day in absolutely no time. You'll get that down, but try and get that hand position right. That's the one take home from this. It's all about the hand position, about working from the wrist and the finger together, not the actual elbow joint. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon and I hope it helps.